Duterte in the Philippines. He's super anti-America right now, and he's making all meeting with China and making deals. And I'm like, he's going to trade one superpower for another. I don't know if that's a better deal. I don't know if he's trading up. If he thinks America's pushing him around, what does he think a communist dictatorship is going to do? Like, he's worried about a democracy where the politicians have to worry about got elected every year. He's worried about the U.S. pushing him around. I can't imagine China would push the Philippines around less than the U.S. So I don't think he's trading up if he decides to switch friends. I don't think it's a step up.
I agree, but I think he's going from a ratio of 90% United States, 10% China, to maybe 75-25.
Yeah, the rebalancing thing is probably true. He's just so rude about it and clumsy. It's very Trumpian, Like Duterte is also just super rude. Very unusual for any world leader. Both Trump and Duterte are just unusual. They just say stuff that prime ministers don't normally say. I guess it doesn't mean they're wrong, but it's a very unusual style for a world leader. It's a very unusual style. Yeah. Other questions?
So, with the TPP being such a hot topic, and with the far left and the far right seemingly coalescing around this one issue, do you think that it could create a political realignment the way that the Voting Rights Act under LBJ did?
It's a really good question. He would know more about the future of the TPP. Hillary would probably love for it to somehow get passed before she took office, but that's probably not going to happen. But there's this debate about there are some similarities to what Bernie Sanders said on the left and what Trump is saying on the right. There are some similarities. So one theory is if those two factions, like the anti-free trade left and the anti-free trade right, if those two factions join, that they can become a powerful future force. I don't think that's going to happen because they do agree about free trade, but they disagree about a lot of other stuff. And in terms of personality, you couldn't have two more different people than Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. They're incredibly different people, and their followers are also two very different constituencies, and I don't see them making some kind of deal. I don't see it happening.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
You're a little bit over time.
Way over time.
Any other questions?
I'm curious.
One last question.
Clinton, I'm just wondering, what if Trump got elected? Do you think what is the worst thing that's going to happen to the world?
The worst thing, like I'm saying, my thing about Trump, the worst thing is actually the unpredictability. I just don't know. And that is the problem. That is the problem. Let's say he was this very clear warmonger. Well, if all the other states knew that, then they could take steps. So let's say we know we have an aggressive president, then the UN can take steps. These other, other countries would know what to do. It's like when you're driving down the highway, it's safe because you can kind of guess what the other drivers are going to do. The worst kind of driver on the road is someone you don't know what he's going to do. So to me, that's the danger of Trump. I can make something up that he's going to get insulted and start a nuclear war. That's probably not going to happen. But the real problem with Trump is he doesn't know what he's going to do, and no one else does. I think that is the biggest problem.
I completely agree. One of the great strengths of the United States that other states, even especially China, does not have is soft power. There's something about the US that we all sort of aspire to, we look up to, we watch Avengers, we watch Disney films, we all love America, right? Trump coming in, even if he doesn't start a nuclear war, even if he is fairly stable, just the stuff that he says really undermines that positive soft power message that we kind of get from the United States.
Yeah, most Americans will be embarrassed if he wins. And so I think the U.S. will lose something. Because, our presidents, whether you agree or disagree with them, of course, it's just obvious your president is going to be a gentleman, and he's not a gentleman. And so, that's one of the long list of things, I don't like about him. All right, guys, please say some prayers, please.
Voting has started, by the way.
Yeah, voting started early in some places, so we'll know. We'll know by like 9, 10, or 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll know.
Ajarn Edward, and